It's the last race before the summer break, and we're here at the Sachsenring in Germany for round 9 of the 2024 MotoGP World Championship. It's the doubleheader then with Assen and Germany to lead us into the break. It's time for free practice 2. Let's join our commentators over on TNT Sports. Yep, and we're just getting set then for the session to get underway in a few moments' time. Unfortunately, we can't see the actual line input at the moment. It doesn't seem to want to work with an input device, so we're trying to solve that at the moment in order to get our systems back up and running. And the system's all closed in and ready to go. Let's have one of them now, actually.
Yeah, how big that was. What a horrible thing. He was so unlucky. He lost the front, like a lot of riders did yesterday through this part of the track. Actually, it's the next corner. This corner here. Cold tyre, but he was so unlucky that he had a go at saving it like you would do as a the bike in through there, and you can't blame him for that. So, but yeah, the rib injury is the one that is the nightmare around here. It's a physical little track, there's no rest, so when you've got damaged ribs, there's not a lot you can do to protect them.
Yeah, sprint race is 15 laps around here. It's the longest in terms of laps. The main race 30 laps, and that means your physical here we go again. This happened yesterday. He came straight back in after his first lap. I was going to say, he's looking so stiff on the bike. This does not look too good. He's looking very, very stiff there. And if he has got rib injury, I mean, ribs, as you know, Neil, it's so painful. You cannot move on the bike.
He's really annoying. He's had quite a lot of these
both. Yeah, he's
little problems.
Today, lap didn't complete the lap. Now we felt, because what happened, they'd switched the wheels onto the other bike, so he was out on his second machine. You know, that never really affects him too much. But it didn't feel mechanical, did it? It felt electronic.
Well, it seems
summer break, you know, on a high, and so far everything has gone wrong. Problems with the bikes, a couple of crashes, injuries potentially there picked up. Well, this is finger. It does look sore though. It looks super stiff on that bike. Like I said, if he does have an injury, anything to do with the ribs, you're trying to ride those bikes, it is so painful. It's like I don't know how to describe it. How bad it is.
There's nothing you can do, is there, Silva?
Yeah, and you keep, you know, you have to change direction. You have to push through your ribs and through your core as well a lot. You know, when you're braking and when you're changing when you're trying to muscle the bike around, and you do have to do that with MotoGP bikes.
Does it affect your breathing as well?
Yes,
imagine.
Yes, 100%.
Every movement comes from your core on a motorcycle. It's the main, it's the foundation of your riding style, your movement. There's nothing you can do to protect it. That's it. Left or right, or even when you go on the straight and get tucked in, it's just...
It bangs on the tank then.
On the tank.
So painful.
Yeah, it's hell.
Start of this session, 3 Aprilias topping the timesheets. Fernandez, Vinales and Oliveira, the only 3 out there. They looked good yesterday. Oliveira was 3rd quickest. Raul Fernandez didn't actually get a decent fast lap in. He was only 7/10 off at the end of the day yesterday. But the Aprilia is working around here, where you might expect it to, but it hasn't necessarily always been the case.
No, and we're still a little bit on the fence. I mean, it is a lot warmer. The sun is shining compared to yesterday, but everybody is trying to use the hard front here already. And we're kind of like, this is still, let's say,
not. We're a bit on the limit of where you used the hard front, you know, with the temperatures. It shows again that the Aprilia is activating that tire a little bit better than everybody else. And we've been on the fence yesterday very much with that temperature and with making those tires work. And the Aprilia was good, you know, with Maverick, with Oliveira.
Why is that then? Why?
It's difficult to explain, actually. I mean, they must be loading the front, and this is not just particular to that track. They do normally tend to, let's say, switch to the harder compounds in the front quicker than the others.
Thing? What
yeah,
is it?
weight distribution, geometry, you know, maybe more weight to the front, more downforce. It's a combination of things. But yeah, this is true on every track we go. The Aprilia, and let's say the order is the Aprilia, then KTM as well. They get away with using the hard front as well.
Could be the downforce Silvan.
Yeah,
if you
could be
look at the front
downforce,
of that Aprilia, their front scoop or wing or whatever you want to call it is huge. When
Yeah,
you
it
walk
does
through
look
the
massive.
paddock and you know, when we're in pit lane and we look at that bike, I stare at it so much and think, wow, think of the horsepower that this bike's having to produce to push that big nose of the Aprilia through the air. So yeah, because normally when you think of the Aprilia, quite a stable bike, doesn't appear to have a lot of weight transfer.
No, it
Which
looks
normally helps.
It does look flat
Yeah, it looks
compared.
flat and
It looks more like it's the bike that looks more like a car.
car,
If that makes
yeah.
any sense. It's like a flat, long, low bike.
So a little breather for Marc Marquez as he gets ready to go again. Maybe lowering the handlebar ever so
body
slightly.
language is like, it looks like he's in pain.
yeah.
Yeah.
But here's someone who has ridden through the pain barrier a lot over the last few years, well, over his career, really. Remember him starting his career in the KTM 125 team with 2 broken legs to it before he even started the season. So, you know, it has been his MO throughout his career is, I'm going to ride to the limit and beyond. I'm going to crash. I'm going to get injured. But you know what? I'm going to ride through it. But, you know, there will come a point when it'll be too much. We almost thought we got there last year.
Yeah, he's overdone that as well in the past, and he
Yeah.
knows, you know, with his arm coming back too quick, and yeah, you know, there's everybody's got their limits. We know he's brave, obviously, and he's shown that in the past. But like I said, right now he will be feeling really frustrated because he will be feeling, you know, I've come into this weekend, and inside he would have known, you know, that obviously that he would have been one of the favourites. Right now, nothing is going right, and I mean, judging by the impact yesterday, you know, the images on his side, you know, on the rib cage there, it just looks painful just watching it, and looking at his body language here, it doesn't look too good.
Just watching there, it was Fernandez and then Bagnaia rear wheel steering the bike up and then down the hill. You can see the black marks being left on the track. It must be so easy to burn your tyres up around this place.
It's one of the easiest tracks to end up at half race distance with no rear tyre left on the left hand side. That said, by now the level of these teams, the level of experience, they'll have the electronic setting, they'll be well aware, they'll be weighing the tyres after the sessions. So I mean, don't get me wrong, it's harder as a rookie, for example, so someone like Pedro Acosta, but like I say, the teams around them will be advising them well, and they'll be literally saying, hey, listen, you can't ride like that throughout the race. So you'll have a target lap time almost in the race. Think, well, I've got to stick to my strategy because we've worked all weekend for this.
Yeah, we're back on.
Really tough.
Sorry about that.
So Marc Marquez 1.4 off halfway round. It was a one-lap wonder that he put in yesterday. He actually, excuse me, had been fastest in the first session until right at the end when Jorge Martin put in a lap just to beat it, but only Martin quicker than him.
It looks stiff, doesn't it, at the moment?
Super stiff. Yeah. So I mean, he did that yesterday when he restarted after his monumental high side. Took a couple of laps behind Bastianini and then started to catch him to finally pass his time. But it does look like he's not moving, let's say, like his usual self.
We're
on the
just
bike.
we're just resetting the live timing. As you might have noticed, it has blown ever so slightly as well. There we go. Doesn't take that long, only losing a couple of seconds to this error, and we're back on now.
With your abs and your core strength, and then as you go into the corner, you lean on the brake, and you start leaning your ribs onto the tank. So here, you know, it is always a little bit of bouncing on the tank, and there's contact there, and that would be so painful. So it just looks a little bit stiff, doesn't it? Yeah. Still, then that's a lot faster than the previous lap. But see there,
look, building into it as well. He's got to take his time, hasn't he, really, to get up to pace. There's something, an affinity he has with this circuit. He'll have a way of riding, he'll have a way of knowledge around it. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to dose it out today, how he's going to manage it. Halfway round, half a second off. The times are very tight, as you'd expect, around a 1:20 lap, down into the 1:19 bracket yesterday. Fastest ever lap around this racetrack from Maverick Vinales with a 1:19.622. Marquez up and over, and he goes up into 11th. Is that half-fit Mark still going to be competitive around here?
for the race, yeah, you'd think so. If he can,
The sprint.
yeah, for the race, I mean, adrenaline does a lot, does a lot for you with injuries like that. But
Pedro Acosta having run off, that's up and over turn 6. Easy to run out wide there, isn't it, through 4 and 5 when you go up and over the top.
Yeah, he's lost the film going over that crash.
At the paddock, isn't it? We have seen that a couple of times before. There you see on the right-hand side, that's the back of the paddock side. There's a pit side, and then there's where we are, down in the depths of hell. Here we go.
we'll
Mark is really stiff and struggling.
Just looks awkward.
Just faster than anyone.
doesn't look like himself though, even there.
No,
and he's
you're right. You're right.
100% doesn't look like himself.
With how quick he is in sector 4, so he's only a 10th off in sector 3. He's probably going to top that now.
Let's have a look. And when he comes to the line, lots of riders are back in the pits, so he has got a pretty clear track ahead of him. Yeah, just up to fourth place. Suffering.
So tight though, and it always is round here. We've got the top 8 covered by a quarter of a second. That's the reality of this little 1 minute 20 lap time. They'll be into the 1:19s.
You know, that's a bit of a burst of a lap, isn't it, there from Marc Marquez. It also he's taking another lap off here now, but he's showing, look, I'm going to have the 1 lap pace. He'll get through Q1. That's almost a certain bet, is it?
So. It's going to have to go. The times to go through in Q1, you're going to have to be in the 19s or very low 20s.
He's just done a 20.8, so you think he's going to have to go down to a 20.1, aren't you? Or as you say,
or a high 19. Yeah. We've seen a few yesterday.
Yeah, there were 3 yesterday.
Vinales, 90, and a couple of 99, isn't it?
Vinales, Martin, and Oliveira.
Yeah. This man was lost again yesterday. Another massive crash for Bezzecchi through this part of the corner. Lost the front. Thankfully, he wasn't injured, but it was a fast old crash.
Struggling with front end confidence and temperature building in the tyres. He did in Assen as well. Crashed twice in Assen in left-handers. So yeah, he's not having a great time at the moment, Bezzecchi.
Mark's coming back into pit lane as Bezzecchi continues on. He's a bit of a dejected figure, which isn't the Bez we know. The Bez we know is all jokes and smiles, and his favourite thing is answering one-word answers to journalists. It tickles him. It genuinely gives him a little bit of tickle.
He's a great character, isn't he?
He is.
Funny character.
He's great. But
yeah, at the moment it's just that front end, the confidence in the front end since the start of the season, since he started with that 2023 bike, since the switch, and with the new rear tyre from Michelin, it's just not quite figure out the puzzle yet, because as we know, Bezzecchi he was a championship contender.
it's the rear grip pushing the front.
Yeah.
And it's a hard conundrum to overcome, because you want that rear grip, but then when it's making your front
Well, everybody, I mean, all the Ducati riders had problems with that
Yeah.
chatter to start with for a few races. That seemed to have completely disappeared now since Jerez. So they've sorted that. But obviously, when you bring I mean, the tires they just make a huge difference. And the manufacturers and riders, they adapt to, you know, the tire specification. If you can get the best out of the tires, you know, you're not too far off figuring out the whole puzzle. So when the rear tire changed for this year, you know, everybody had to adjust and adapt and some problems appeared on some bikes. So yeah, for Marco Bezzecchi, still like they still need to you know, that puzzle still need to come together. It's coming for Di Gianantonio, his teammates. So you know, there's still hope.
But he had his own issue yesterday as Taka heads out onto the circuit. It sounded a strange one. We were talking about a broken collarbone, what we thought it was, or then you suggested a dislocated shoulder. It sounds like a
Must have been.
Sounded like a dislocated collarbone. Was the what the words from Fabio was? It's moved, but it's not. There's nothing.
So it's an
broken there.
acromio. And so acromio is like a. So it's basically the top of the collarbone that basically it's pulled out of the socket where it should be in. So that's not a no-no. You can ride with that. Depends. It's like grades. So you know, you can. It happens a lot in rugby, for example. It's an injury that is very common in rugby, and it settles over time. Normally, you don't need surgery. It's an injury that I've had actually in 2013. I did have to have surgery.
Playing rugby?
No, riding mountain bikes and running out of talent. But yeah, mine was a grade 3. I could still ride with it. It was not very nice, but I could still ride with it. But I had to get surgery in the winter, 2 surgery actually, to fix it.
Is that the year you won the World Championship?
So yeah,
13.
He was doing 14. So I got the surgeries and recovered from that, and then won the championship the year after.
I was going to say, I bet that went down well if that was the year you won the World Championship.
I was leading the championship at the time.
Was you?
Yeah, and I had to call. It was Gigi Dall'Igna at the time, the boss of Aprilia. I had to call him and say, "Oh, Gigi, I don't think I can go to Moscow because I've just fell off my mountain bike."
Wow.
He was not happy.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me the sort of person who would like that.
So I had to go in the end. I went to Moscow and rode. Fortunately for me, it was wet, so made the pain a little bit better.
Luca Marini running 14th. Best we've seen so far from the Repsol Honda man. He's excited about Alicia Spargo coming in as a test rider. So just that the whole factory needs a bit of a fillip.
They've worked well around here, the Hondas. We've seen Zarco up there yesterday.
Start of session, yeah, he was P5 for a long
the
time.
first time we've seen them all year, actually, not just bringing up the rear. So it's positive signs for them.
Yes, it was though. Joan Mir had a tough day, didn't he? He had a big crash himself.
Yeah, crash in turn 1.
And in terms of the pace, we were looking before Somkiat Chantra's Moto2 time, 22.6. And yesterday, Mir in the morning had done a 22.5. There's Dr. Charte. Marc Marquez taking a little bit of time to process what Charte was saying. It's hard because he speaks about 8 octaves lower than anybody else in the world.
He's got a deep voice.
Yeah, but shows how this circuit is unique. Very, very different kind of track. And as I say, the Triumph 765, the lap times are quite similar to those in Moto.
Well, the Moto 3, what are they doing Moto 3? 25.0?
Yeah, 25, yeah.
So, you know, it's not a big like time. With MotoGP around here, I don't know the exact figure, but I think it's like 10% of the lap where you are actually full throttle.
Full throttle.
Yeah, because you can't open it anywhere. You see, like there, Jack Miller is accelerating in 3rd. It's going to go up to 4th.
But even up there, you don't go probably full.
You don't go 100% up there. And then all of this is partial throttle.
Yeah.
Partial throttle still there. Short shift 5th, short shift 6th for some manufacturers. And then you go
just
flat
full.
out.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
full in the downhill. And that's it.
For like probably less than 2 seconds.
Yeah. And then here again, you're going to open gradually. You'll get to full and roll off immediately.
Full
there, up and off.
Yeah, you're right. Funny, isn't it? Only 10% of the lap will be full throttle.
It's not about the pure power. It is all about efficiency. Even there in that straight, because it's going uphill, the bikes have a really high tendency to wheelie. So 2nd, 3rd, even 4th gear, the bike is still trying to go up. So yeah, it's about getting the power down around here, not peak horsepower.
Luca Marini.
Yeah, followed Jack Miller and went into 12th place.
Yeah,
half a second
half
back.
a second off.
That's good.
By far his best session of the year so far. I know obviously it's not over, there's still 9 minutes to go, but good to see. Be nice to bring Honda back into the party, wouldn't it, for next year at some point?
We had encouraging signs for Yamaha, didn't we, last time? But there haven't been those, little glimmers of hope at Honda as yet. Again, you can't read too much into what you see around here at the Sachsenring.
There's a lot coming for after the summer break, from what I heard.
So, with Honda.
Which is what I'd heard also, but Yamaha are throwing those things in the bike now. They say we are testing on a race weekend.
They've got to, haven't they?
And I feel like Honda should be doing that. I feel like saying, oh, there's stuff coming later down the line is old Honda, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what Mark Marquez railed against, said we can't work like this anymore.
Hopefully something radical, because you get the feel, I mean, that now wherever we go, there is, it's a DNA problem. It's something huge. So they need to come up with radical solutions. These tweaks won't do. They just won't do.
Good luck coming in from Oliveira, as Pedro Acosta, who ran off earlier, he goes up to 9th. Oliveira said some of Alaish's engineers, or Alaish himself, came over and they've had a little bit of a powwow about what that could be working better for them. He said, because Alaish wasn't riding, he came and sat with me a bit, and it's really helped us. And look at this, straight to the top.
Wow,
120.353 in theory, what would be race trim for Oliveira.
Yeah, hard front, soft rear. Looking good. All tyres asymmetric here, the slicks anyway. So even the fronts now, we don't see Michelin's, like over the last, let's say, year, has not brought too many times the asymmetric fronts. Which means a softer side on the right side here.
And what's the middle part of the tyre?
So the left side and middle part is the same, and then the right side is a bit softer. They do that for here and Valencia. These are the two most critical tracks, but they don't. They tend to. There's other tracks before where they used to bring maybe one, in the allocation. They don't do that anymore.
Sounds like a crash in our
It did
headsets.
sound like it, didn't it? And there's yellow flag.
In turn 1.
I'm guessing.
Usually is. Super technical turn 1.
There's only 1 and 2 in that
Nice.
sector. It's the fastest man coming into the day, and it is in turn 2. Is that? Oh no, it's the end of turn 1. Isn't it? It's right in the corner. That is.
He's crashed there before, actually, Maverick. I remember on the Yamaha he crashed there one time. It was near the end of the reign of his Yamaha career.
How good is that to see Oliveira back at the sharp end?
Superb.
Since last year, he started the season so well. He was so quick, and then not his fault at all. He got taken out by Marc Marquez in Portimao, which resulted in an injury, and then taken out again with an incident turn 2 in Jerez with Fabio Quartararo.
Yeah, that's right.
And taken out again.
And another injury. It was just a nightmare. I mean, the poor Miguel Oliveira just had bad luck after bad luck after bad luck, and he had good pace, winter testing, everything went well. Yeah, really late. So easy though there in Tidneal, because you can't see it very much here, but it just drops, completely drops, and it's a bit of a bump as well.
It's awful, isn't it? Right at that point where the track just drops away.
Touch the throttle, and he's off.
Down you go.
Yeah, I remind everyone about Miguel Oliveira, 5 times a MotoGP winner on the KTM.
He's the last winner on a KTM,
Yes,
isn't he?
Thailand
2022.
In the wet though, yeah.
It's also he's in that period right now where he's on the shopping list of some of the teams that are potentially going to leave the Trackhouse team. I know there's people definitely talking to him. Pramac Yamaha is on that list.
Yeah,
certainly.
Well, now they fill both the factory slots, because you often, at the start of the year, you think, well, they'll look at Oliveira, won't they? But it just never quite clicked early enough for him. Is that a gain?
Yeah, that's turn 10, 9.
Yeah, but over the top.
Yeah,
that's through 10, isn't it?
So you come up there, and the track just flattens, and you have to commit though. You don't brake at all there. You just commit into that turn, and it flattens and it runs you wide, which opens up turn 10 for you. So it's a really technical corner, easy to overdo it though, no load on the front tyre.
Winner here in Moto 2 last year, winner in Moto 3 in 2021.
Yeah, finished second in 2022 as well, and the Moto 2 in his first year. So it's a track he really likes.
Before he broke his leg, wasn't it?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. It's one of those, a little bit like Mark. Marquez. He likes the bike floating, skating. He does a lot of off-road riding. He does a lot of on-road riding where he's sliding the bike around. So you almost feel like on these tricky tracks when it's like that, this is when a rider can make the difference and can use their skill and feel and understanding. So I expect Pedro to have a really good race today and tomorrow.
Brad Binder still not showing. He's in 16th in this second, 1.1 down on Oliveira's time. A reminder, Oliveira is a third of a second quicker than anybody. Martin is second. He's still in the pits, been in a while. Vinales third, Bagnaia fourth, and Marc Marquez has only done, what, one flying lap? 2 flying laps.
Yeah.
He's done
I know he's done 6 laps in total,
total,
but one was an out lap and an in lap.
Yeah.
And then he went out. He was very, very cautious, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he really had, what, 2 flying laps? And then
Yeah.
And that's
pretty
it.
much came back
It's
in.
not looking good, is it? Because it's so important to do the miles, get the feeling, work out what tyres are going to do the distance.
The body language as well didn't look good, did it?
No.
He's dosing it out. He's going to save it all, isn't he, for qualifying and then save it for the race.
Yeah.
But you surely can't do that and challenge the likes of Martin and
No,
Bagnaia when they're on form.
That's the reality.
However much you are the king of the ring.
I'm not going to say anything, because whatever I say, he'll do the exact opposite.
Go on, say something.
I don't think he's got a chance this weekend. And 2 wins for Marc Marquez.
A last chance for this man to take Pedro Acosta's, take Marc Marquez's record as the youngest ever MotoGP winner. Last opportunity.
I thought he'd chance. I don't think he's a chance in the full dry. If we get a little bit of rain, which it is forecast for later, it is supposed to come later, so, but you never know. You never know. You know what this place is like. We've seen it. It's got its own little climate. Rain clouds can soon gather on the hills of where we're situated here and get a little shower.
Had them over the years, haven't we?
We have.
Wet races, we've had flag to flags, a number of flag to flags here. Marc Marquez running out victorious in the more. Look at that rear wheel steer from Acosta over the rise, down through 6 and then into 7th. Very fast and again, smoking it through there. Looks good.
But you lose time. It's weird. It does look good. It's too wide there as well. Just
sat up.
Yeah, it's sat up now.
Down into the Saxon curve, previous lap again.
You see him on the rear brake there as well. He uses so much rear brake, but too much at that point. So the bike sort of just steps out a little bit too far. This is the bit here where he turns it on the rear. Look at him on the rear brake as well, trying to control it.
Yeah, this isn't quite 7 yet. This is over the top through 4 and 5. And then down through 6.
Beautiful riding style, isn't it?
It feels like he adjusts it per racetrack.
Yeah.
He looks different at different places, doesn't he? There's times when he's shoulder down, extreme style. When he's, Barcelona, for example, we saw that unique style. But having spoken to his crew chief, Paul Trevathan, a few times, he said, you see it on his data, it's phenomenal what he's doing. He is learning all the time, obviously. Marc Marquez is sitting out the rest of this session, ready to go. He's going to be going out. Don't forget, we've got Q1 coming up next. And Marc Marquez is in it with Jack Miller, Raul Fernandez. Bear in mind, Fernandez is 6th fastest in this session, so maybe, I don't know, do you look at Marquez and Fernandez to go through under pressure from Miller?
You'd have to say yes.
That's the way it looks like, isn't it?
You would have to say yes. Whilst there's a little shout out for Natalie Quirk, our teammate who's not with us this weekend.
That's news.
That's news. Is at home resting. She's pregnant and she is looking after baby Michelle, who is safe and warm inside Nat's News's belly. So, hope all's good with you, Nat. We are missing you here on site. I know you're watching at home. Not missing any of the action. We'll look forward to catching up with you soon.
Yeah, she's gutted that Keanu Reeves is here this weekend.
She is.
I'm sure we'll catch up with him at some point. Yeah. So on board here with Maverick Vinales. Checker flag is out at the end of this session. I'm not sure how much we've learned out of that one, other than...
You're right there. I was thinking that.
It's
I
one
was
of
just
those-
thinking that. Thinking strange session. Really hard to work out what's going on. We've not. Yeah, you don't feel like I've learnt anything.
Maverick had a crash, of course, so he's just making sure everything's all right with the bike. It looks like hard front, soft rear is the combination everyone's planning to use. It is tough on tyres, this place.
Yeah, certainly is.
So that's the end of the FP2 session. It is Miguel Oliveira who goes fastest, for Martin second and Vinales third. Qualifying coming up next, and that's the next stream you'll be able to watch. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.